Good day, everyone. This is our topic on the foundational concepts of science, technology, and tourism civilization. This is for lesson 1, G5 STS. Here are the expected content standards. You have to demonstrate knowledge of the historical antecedents of science and technology that enabled early travel, navigation, and tourism development. You also have to demonstrate your understanding of how scientific and technological advancements shaped tourism civilizations, trade, routes, and cultural exchange. Also, demonstrate competency in relating historical technological progress to contemporary tourism systems, destinations, and global mobility partners. These are just the content standards or the standards that you have to reach by the end of this lesson. Also, here is the lesson intended learning outcomes or your ILO. So you have to describe key historical developments sa STS, nga nag-help with early travel and tourism. You also have to explain how navigation, transportation, timekeeping systems, paano nag-contribute na nga mga aspect to the emergence of the tourism civilization. You also have to analyze the relationship between technological progress and the expansion of tourism activities across historical periods. Also, number 4, apply historical examples of technological advancements to explain modern tourism systems. So, lastly, after this lesson is has concluded, you also have to evaluate whether ang tourism ba can exist if walang development of science and technology. So, yeah. The statement here is tourism did not emerge accidentally, nor is it merely a product lang of leisure or wealth. Tourism daw is a civilizational outcome made possible by systematic advances in science and technology. Tourism is often mistakenly understood as a modern leisure activity reserved for those with disposable income, para lang sa mga may free time. Pero, in an SES perspective, tourism must be understood as a civilizational outcome. Outcome siya ng civilization. It is not a coincidence of comfort or affluence na kung sino lang yung may income, sino lang yung may wealth, may free time for leisure, sila lang yung makakapag enjoy ng tinatawag na tourism. It is the result of deliberate, cumulative advances in science and technology that enabled humans to move beyond survival-based mobility. Kasi dati, before the word tourism was ever experienced, humans merely travel for survival. For example, if area A has already run out of resources, humans traveled to a new location, area B, if it is, let's say, if it has the resources that they need. So, for example, food, water, they can easily make shelter, etc., etc. Civilizations that develop scientific knowledge, such as, for example, astronomy, engineering, and cartography. Cartography is the art of map making, where able to expand their geographic reach, establish mga stable routes going to that specific destination, and also to create systems that allowed people to travel with a degree of safety and predictability. Tourism, therefore, is inseparable from human scientific capacity to understand the space around them, time also, and movement. Without these advances that were mentioned, travel would remain sporadic. Before tourists existed, there had to be travelers. The concept of the word tourist is actually historically recent. Ngayon lang yan. But the concept of a traveler no? It is an ancient concept already. However, even travelers before, they could not exist without the foundational systems of knowledge. Human movement across territories, mga required navigation systems to determine kung diin sila makadto, which direction is it pointing to, or transport technology. So for example, to overcome yung mga physical distance, yung may kailangang lalakbaying dagat. So dapat may transport technology na nag-develop ng ship, di ba? Mga bangka. Also, timekeeping mechanisms to coordinate journeys and also the spatial knowledge to understand terrain and geography. These systems transformed movement from random na paglalakbay, random wandering into an organized travel. So for tourism students, this distinction is very crucial. Why? Tourism emerges only when travel becomes systematized and repeatable. A destination only becomes a destination not simply because na naga-exist lang siya, but because it can be reached. No? A destination is a destination because kaya mo siyang puntahan. It can be reached, it can be mapped, it can be scheduled, and it can be revisited. These conditions are products of scientific and technological development, not cultural design alone. In contemporary society, tourism is commonly framed as an industry, correct? It is measured through arrivals, receipts, employments. While this economic view is important, it is insufficient pa rin because for a deep understanding of tourism, uh, we have to view it as something beyond just eco- ang economy or income for the country. In this lesson, tourism is examined as a historical, technological phenomenon that evolved alongside the rise of civilizations. As states formed, they invested in roads, mga ports, calendars, communication systems to support governance and trade. These same infrastructures later, they enabled travel for ano mga reason? Education. What else? Religion, diplomacy, and eventually, subungang modern times, you travel for leisure. Para ma-enjoy mo yung view, matry mo ang culture, for leisure, for fun. Scientific inquiry into geography, astronomy, and engineering supported state expansion, and unintentionally, it laid the groundwork for tourism systems. Thus, tourism is not separate from civilization. It is embedded in the very processes of state building. It is also embedded in the process of trade expansion and knowledge production. Here's the question. If humans had never developed navigation tools, transport systems, or calendars, would tourism as we know it today, would it be possible? So here are some historical antecedents of science and technology in early travel. Early human travel was driven by yung necessity, kailangan, rather than choice. Long before leisure travel existed, people moved to secure economic survival, political stability, and spiritual fulfillment, yung mga religious travel. Trade required merchants to cross vast distances to exchange goods. Diplomacy compelled envoys to travel between political centers to what are they doing for diplomacy? They are negotiating peace, alliances. How about the pilgrimage? Religious pilgrimage motivated believers to journey to sacred sites despite dangers or hardships. And lastly, for the territorial expansion, it pushed armies and settlers into unfamiliar lands. These form of movements were not tourism in the modern sense, quote unquote, but they established the routes, the destinations, and the support systems that tourism would later rely upon. Subong in the modern times. For tourism management students, it is important for you to recognize that today's tourism corridors often follow ancient trade routes, also pilgrimage paths, no? It demonstrates that there is continuity between yung necessity-driven na pag-travel and ngayon, yung ating contemporary tourism flow. And of course, the success of early travel depended heavily sa mga scientific knowledge na-establish. So, for example, astronomy, it allowed travelers to determine direction by observing the celestial bodies, particularly sa maritime navigation. Mathematics, it enabled the estimation of distance and the creation of maps also, transforming unknown spaces into navigable territories. Engineering, of course, it made possible yung mga construction of roads, bridges, and ships that connected regions and civilizations. And lastly, material science, it contributed through the development of mga durable na tools na ginagamit. Like for example, mga wheels, mga sails, yon, that it actually increased yung travel efficiency at saka safety ng travelers. So, in tourism terms, these foundations represent yung mga earliest forms of tourism infrastructure without which, kung wala ang mga ito, yung mga technological foundations na to, yung mga developments na to, yung mga inventions na to, destinations could neither be accessed nor sustained. Ancient travel practices unintentionally established the core components of modern tourism. Religious pilgrims traveling to sites such as the Mecca and Jerusalem, it created some of the earliest recurring travel flows necessitating lodging. Yung sinabi nyo earlier in class na hospitality, no? Food service, and route maintenance. Scholars traveling across ancient Greece and later during the medieval Europe, they represent early forms of educational tourism where yung knowledge-seeking travelers, they justified yung mga long-distance movement. So to support these travelers, of course, societies developed early hospitality systems, including lodging, inns, caravanserais, or yung mga isang stretch siya ng bridge or ng street na puno sila ng parang mga bazaar or mga kiosk, yan. Caravanserais, which provided shelter, food, and security. So these facilities represent the earliest institutional responses para sa demand ng travel sa isang lugar. So modern hotels, resorts, and tourism services are yung mga direct descendants na siya ng early systems ng travel, let's say, travel supports, yan, illustrating how ancient scientific and logistical solutions continue pa rin to shape the contemporary tourism operations ngayon sa modern times. The statement here is, tourism is impossible without predictability, and predictability is a scientific achievement. At its core, tourism depends on predictability because tourists must be able to anticipate travel time. They should be able to anticipate safety conditions and destination accessibility. So, ang predictability doon, it allows for scheduling, pricing, service delivery, ano pa, mga fundamental elements ng tourism management. This predictability, specifically the predictability itself, it is not natural. It is a result of scientific measurement, technological control, and standardized systems sa isang tourism destination. Timekeeping, navigation, engineering standards, and data collection all contribute to making travel reliable or predictable. In this case, predictable or predictability is a good thing. Without this, tourism would revert to uncertainty and risk, discouraging participation. Kasi sabi ng mga tourists, wag tayo dyan, di natin sure if safe dyan, di natin alam kung ano yung itinerary, etc., etc. So in this case, predictability is a good thing. From an STS perspective, predictability represents the point at which science transforms human mobility into an organized social activity. So, tourism, therefore, stands as one of the clearest examples of how science and technology shape everyday human experience and economic life. Let's go to science, navigation, and birth of tourism civilizations. Navigation systems represent one of the most critical scientific foundations of tourism civilization. Long before ni ang mga digital navigation and GPS, ang mga early travelers natin relied on systematic observation of the natural world to determine direction and position. So the use of stars, constellations, it allowed ancient mariners and land travelers to orient themselves during long journeys, particularly at night or across featureless terrains such as, for example, deserts and oceans. The invention of the magnetic compass in China marked a major turning point in human mobility. Unlike celestial navigation, the compass functioned regardless of weather and visibility, significantly reducing uncertainty in travel. Kasi mas gusto nga natin dun sa travel, yung predictability niya, yung alam mong hindi ka malalagay sa risk. And later, instruments such as the astrolabe and the sextant enabled sailors to calculate latitude with greater precision. These tools mentioned here and shown here transform navigation from intuition-based na movement into a scientifically guided process, thereby increasing travel reliability. So for tourism, this reliability was essential in converting exploratory travel, yung nagta-travel ka lang para may madiscover ka, it was converted into something that is much more reliable, much more predictable, or what we say, repeatable and organized routes. The advancement of navigation system had profound implications for the development of tourism. So may accurate navigation ka na, and therefore it enabled long-distance sea travel, connecting continents and facilitating sustained interaction between distant civilizations. This connectivity gave rise to cultural exchange. So meron na tayong mga cultural exchange routes such as the Silk Road, which we are familiar with, which functioned not only as a trade corridor but also as channels for the exchange of ideas, exchange of technologies, the exchange of culture and religion, and yung mga cultural practices. As these routes stabilized, yung mga specific locations nating along those routes, they began to emerge as recognizable destinations. So, naging, ano yan, yung mga naging major cities is usually yung mga dinadaanan or ang for our term, pag inadungkaan, mga ports. And trading hubs. So it developed reputations for safety, commerce, or cultural significance. In tourism terms, this represents the early formation of destination identity. Navigation technology, therefore, did not merely facilitate movement, it shaped spatial hierarchies and transformed geographic points into meaningful places within a broader tourism system. O tourism example, yung Grand Tour of Europe, it provides a clear historical example of how scientific and technological advancements enabled early forms of leisure travel. Undertaken primarily by young elites from Europe, the Grand Tour involved extended travel across major cultural centers such as Paris, Rome, and Florence. This form of travel was not incidental. It depended heavily on the availability of accurate maps and yung mga well-maintained road networks. And of course, reliable maritime navigation system. Ang mga technological conditions na to, they allowed travelers to plan multi-country itineraries. Estimate also kung gaano katagal ang magiging travel nila, travel duration, and to anticipate accommodations along the route. From a tourism management perspective, ang Grand Tour, it illustrates the transition from necessity-driven travel to purposeful, experience-oriented travel. Gusto lang nila pumunta sa lugar nito para ma-experience nila yung culture. Uh, for education, but mainly for leisure. It represents an early form of cultural tourism. It is made possible by scientific standardization and yung mga infrastructural investment din ng government. So this is a uh, article from ABC News. The lavish grand tour of history and how they shape the way we travel today. So 300 years ago, elite young men went on a holiday that lasted 4 years, and money was no object. Those were years of just traveling. Let's go with navigation technology did not only move people, it created destination. Navigation technology reshaped the meaning of space itself. Places that were once inaccessible or unknown became reachable, mapped, and named. This transformation is crucial in understanding how destinations are created. A location becomes a destination not because it is inherently valuable, remember that, but because it is accessible, identifiable, and integrated into travel systems. So, ports, cities, pilgrimage sites, and cultural centers gained prominence precisely because navigation technology connected them to wider networks of movement. In contemporary tourism, this principle remains relevant. Modern destinations continue to depend on accessibility through air routes, digital navigation, transport infrastructures. Thus, navigation technology does not merely facilitate tourism, it actively constructs ang geography of tourism. Transportation technologies and the expansion of tourism. While navigation determines direction, transportation technologies determine the scale and the speed of tourism. So the evolution of transportation from animal-powered lang before ng mga vehicles to ships na, to railways na, and eventually aviation, air travel, directly influence the volume and diversity of travelers. Each major transportation breakthrough expanded tourism participation by reducing the travel time and also increasing the safety and most importantly lowering the cost. For tourism civilization, transportation technology marked the shift from elite travel. Yung mga elite, yung mga powerful, yung mga may influence, yung mga affluent family lang ang nakakapag-travel. Sa ngayon, naging ano na siya, naging mass tourism. Railways enabled organized group travel during the Industrial Revolution, while steamships and later airplanes opened international and intercontinental destinations. So, from an STS perspective, ang transportation technology illustrates how scientific innovation reshapes social behavior also and transforming travel from a privilege of the few na may kwarta into a structured global industry na siya, subong. So here is the historical progression during the ancient period, ships, animal transport, pilgrimage, trade travel. Tapos nung industrial period, naging railways na, naging steamships na, and dito na nag-start ang mass tourism. Then during the modern period, which we are also experiencing today, meron ng aviation and naging ano na siya, naging global tourism na siya. We have here ang analytical point wherein this is how or diin naga-correlate ang tourism growth. It correlates with speed, safety, and cost efficiency of transport. A critical analytical observation in the study of tourism civilizations is that tourism growth does not occur randomly. It correlates directly with measurable nga mga improvements sa transportation systems. Specifically pagid, tourism expands when travel becomes faster, safer, more cost efficient. Ang speed, it reduces the physical and psychological burden of travel, allowing tourists to reach destinations within manageable time frames. Safety, of course, minimizes risk, encouraging wider participation across age groups and social classes. And cost efficiency, of course, it lowers the economic barriers, transforming ang travel from an elite activity to a mass phenomenon. So in an SES perspective, ang mga factors nga ni, they are not social preferences alone, but they are outcomes of scientific research, engineering design, and technological innovation. Whenever a society improves these three variables, speed, safety, cost efficiency, tourism activity predictability increases. So the relationship explains why tourism flourishes during periods of technological advancements and nagastagnate sila during times of infrastructure decline or crisis. For tourism management insight, ang modern destination competitiveness is still shaped by airport accessibility, transport infrastructure, and technological integration system or ang smart mobility. Subong sa contemporary tourism management, the same technological principles that shape ang ancient and early modern travel naga-continue siya to determine destination competitiveness subong in the modern times. Airport accessibility influences ang mga destinations visibility and ang iyang market reach, particularly sa international tourism. Ang efficient transport infrastructure such as roads, rail systems, intermodal connections, it directly affects ang tourist satisfaction, kag ang mobility, kag ang length of stay sang tourist sa isa ka destination. Additionally, ang smart mobility, ni bala ang technological integration, gina-include ya ang digital navigation, ang real-time sa pag-transport ng data, and ang integrated booking platforms. It has become a defining feature kung gaano ka-competitive ang destination from one another. For tourism managers, this means that destination attractiveness is no longer based on natural or cultural assets, kung ano ka nami ang view sa isa ka lugar. But on the technological capability man sang lugar nga na to deliver seamless travel experience. Tourism, therefore, remains deeply embedded in scientific and technological systems. Let's go with timekeeping, calendars, and tourism organization. Of course, ang historical development, ang calendars nag-enable siya sa mga seasonal travel, festival tourism, kag religious observances. Timekeeping represents one of the most overlooked yet essential scientific contributions to tourism civilization. The development of calendars allowed societies to organize time systematically, enabling seasonal travel patterns and the scheduling of festivals and religious observances. These temporal structures transform travel into a coordinated social activity siya para sa tanan rather than just an isolated individual act. So, muna, kung may timekeeping ka, record keeping or ang development sa mga calendars, ginadungan ang pag-produce sa mga specific products para angkop siya sa or dungan siya sa mga festivals so that ma-maximize ang income. Seasonal calendars guided agricultural cycles also and later determined periods of mobility and rest. Religious calendars established recurring pilgrimage schedules, while festival calendars created predictable tourism flows. From an STS standpoint, calendars function as social technologies that structure human movement. In tourism, they create rhythm, anticipation. You are excited for something to come up. And continuity kasi yearly or all year round may activities. And then it is annually celebrated. All of which are necessary for destination planning and tourism marketing. Without standardized timekeeping, international flights, tour packages, and event tourism would collapse. Nga it is applied in hotel bookings, airline schedules, tour itineraries, at saka MICE planning. In practical tourism operations, timekeeping governs hotel check-in and check-out schedule, airline departures and arrivals, tour sequencing, and MICE planning. A single disruption sa time coordination can cascade into service failures across the tourism value chain. This illustrates how tourism depends not only on the physical infrastructure but also sa abstract scientific system that regulate time and coordination at a global scale which ginapakita sa aton sang timekeeping kag calendar development. The question is, could tourism exist without science and technology? In the absence of navigation systems, transportation technologies, mapping, and timekeeping, could tourism exist without these technologies? Tourism is not merely cultural, it is technological by nature. Engineering enables physical movement, scientific knowledge, allows for destination planning and risk management, kag ang technological systems ensure predictability and safety. In the SCS perspective, ang tourism is highly organized social system that depends sa scientific rationality. Therefore, ano ang sabat? Could tourism exist without science and technology? While tourism is often celebrated for its cultural dimensions, like ang heritage, tradition, human interaction, ang iya nga existence is fundamentally technological. Culture provides meaning sa destination, but technology provides access. organization, continuity. So without scientific systems, cultural exchange through tourism would be limited, unstable, and inaccessible to most of society. So tourism is not merely cultural, it is technological by nature. We are going to have a group timeline output, and instruction will be sent to the group chat. Thank you very much.